You know, Ron's not that old. You make him sound like he's ancient, but like he just sat up, had a bit of cake. You know,
Right.
it's just he's doing so well.
Like he's
so
one of the
spry
like
for
he's
his
one of the
age.
grandfathers in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
He is a grandpa.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing upstairs.
Right.
He's got 3 other old people, and they're all lined up in bed.
He has become a grandpa several times since we started working
This is
together.
true.
He was just a youngin'
Yeah.
when we began. Hi,
And
Bob.
as we know, if you refer to someone as spry, that automatically means they're super old. And I think I just did that.
You're my, as
God.
you know, you're the only man I've been exchanging bodily show fluids with since 1903.
Yes.
And I kept
Oh,
hearing
yes.
during the, I only could make it through like 2 minutes of the Trump speech, but I kept hearing you're sad. You're the one that first sent me sad.
Yeah. Or Tony Atamanuik doing his Trump impression saying, somber. So somber. Because evidently the F. POTUS has mononucleosis or something. Oh, my God. Low energy, sleepy. I thought at any second he was going to take a nap right then and there. Because he does that thing where he winds down like his batteries are dying. He's like, it's like it doesn't have anything. There's nothing. There's and there's just it
was
just
that whisper.
fades
It
out,
was
just a
whispered.
slow fade.
Yes, it is. It's the whispery Trump, right?
Yeah. He
This is
was
such a
whispering
so
Trump
bad.
last night.
Yeah.
And mumbly, and the funniest thing about it was he did this whole run about Joe Biden's gaffes.
Right.
Which, yeah, welcome to the 1980s, for God's sake. We've been
Right.
talking about Joe Biden's gaffes for 40 years now. But the thing with Donald Trump is he immediately finishes going off about Joe Biden's gaffes and then just does this immense series of short circuits that it just made for great Twitter content last night because he was talking about how he's going to go to war for what was it? He was talking about I haven't had a war for decades and decades or something. Yeah. Then he said that Herschel Walker is a flabbleous human being. I don't know what that is. I don't know what flabbleous means.
Somebody was like, "Oh, that means Herschel Walker's definitely losing. He's going to keep his streak going."
I think I learned about Emperor Flablius in my Latin class in 10th grade. With the ancient Roman Emperor Flablius.
You could hear the GOP collective like, "No, God, he mentioned Herschel. Now Herschel's toast." Yeah. I mean, how about Liz Cheney? I think everyone she endorsed won, and everybody.
Yeah.
So far, I
Yeah.
don't know, Trump, Cruz, you name it, DeSantis, almost all of them lost. I mean, it's Bob. We haven't talked since the what are we calling it? The light spotting, the red spotting.
We talked last week,
Yeah.
but we didn't know what.
Yeah,
day.
we didn't know the
we did
extent
talk
of
on
it.
Wednesday, but
Yeah.
we didn't know all the results yet. It was still very,
Yeah.
very early.
Yeah.
But everything that we said, all the gloating that we did, it still applies.
It does.
Still
It holds
applies.
and works.
Carrie Lake.
Yeah, it's
Hello.
timeless at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 elections in a row. Trump has been repudiated, so that's all good.
Yeah.
Carrie Lake is too silent though right now.
Quiet. She's too quiet.
Too quiet. Yeah, she's like the horse in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like,
The days you
what
don't
is
see
she-
him is when you're the most scared.
Well,
Yeah.
what have we learned? It doesn't matter if she concedes.
Yeah.
Like, just ignore these
Right.
idiots.
Well, she was evidently there at Mar-a-Lago vacuuming all the gold lame or
Yeah.
whatever he's got coating the inside of that place. I did this comparison last night between that room at Mar-a-Lago, that giant conference room, whatever it is, and Liberace's bedroom. And actually, Liberace's bedroom was understated in comparison to the inside of Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Which, as we've established before, that's, it's like the Trump Tower sneezed in there.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's what Mar-a-Lago looks
But
like.
you and Hal and a lot of different people have been saying. I think Palmer Report this morning was saying he's not running. He's like he thinks this is going to he's obviously told people he thinks like this will distract from any indictments, and it's just I don't think he's actually going to run. Do you?
Oh, no. Well, he's pretending to, certainly,
Right.
because of this advantage that he thinks it's going to give him legally.
Yeah.
Well, this is just another thing that he can use as an insurance policy 2 years down the road. So if he's unable to successfully stall these legal investigations of him, then 2 years down the road, if he becomes president, he can pardon himself or wiggle out of it just by being president somehow. And I think that's what he thinks. But last night, you could absolutely tell that this is one of those situations where it's like, oh, Mom, do I really got to run for president? Oh. And of course, Mom is Ivanka.
Right.
And that's in that play. Thank you, end scene. Yeah. He really thinks he can wiggle out of this somehow, and it's not going to work. And this campaign, it's hilarious because he's going into this with this kind of shaky reputation with the Republican Party, and I'm kind of understating it by calling it shaky, but there's a serious financial beef that I think a lot of Republicans have with him, apart from the damaging nature of just him being him. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that he hoarded hundreds of millions of dollars with his slush fund Save America PAC, and then he made it there's a whole series of PACs that he's created, like 9 different super PACs. Yeah. That he's hoarding money, and hardly any of it went to any of the Republican candidates. And the money that did go to Republican candidates in this cycle went only to candidates who were already saturated with money in the first place. Yeah. Didn't really go to any competitive districts. Didn't really go to,
Yeah, and people pointed out some of the ones that endorsed that did win, they were in like deeply red districts are going to win anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
But anyway, I just love
fancy that. Yeah.
You chimed in on the media. This was an actual New York Times headline. President Biden feels buoyant after the better-than-expected midterms, but as he nears his 80th birthday, he confronts a decision on whether to run in 2024 that has some Democrats uncomfortable. And you just said, another classic by the New York Times pitch bot. Oh, it's not the pitch bot. It's real.
Not the pitch bot. That was the real.
Right?
Yeah.
Donald Trump is 4 years younger. Right? They're roughly the same age. Chuck Grassley, I don't even know if you can carbon date him. I mean, it is astounding.
Yeah, Chuck Grassley is 11 billion years old.
Thank you.
That's Chuck Grassley's accurate age. And you know it when you see him tweet. He's got the best. Hey, look, you know what? You might not like Chuck Grassley, but if you need to be entertained, there's no better Twitter feed than Chuck Grassley, where he just will. It's almost as if his great grandchildren have gotten their hands on his phone and have just started typing random emojis and characters, and just his Twitter feed is. I don't know if you've ever seen someone drunk tweet.
Yes.
But it's kind of like that, only less coherent.
Yes. His Twitter style
recommend
is
that.
His Twitter style is spry.
Yes, exactly.